Hello and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sean, and it's really cold.
It is really cold. It won't be cold tomorrow. Don't worry, it'll be like 60, but this is Colorado for you. It'll be like, 72 one day, and the next day is 18.
Yeah.
So we've got a fire, we had some chili.
We did have some chili.
Yep, had some beer.
We had some beer chili.
Yeah, I made it with beer.
Because it called for beer. We threw some beer in there. I was like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
But, there's snow on our Halloween decorations.
Yep, there sure is.
Because Jen finally got around to putting up her
my cemetery.
Her cemetery and her
so
tree.
Happy.
And it looks great.
I'm so happy.
It's kind of cool because when I look through the window to the door.
Yeah.
When I'm walking through, I just see like the purple.
Yeah, like the glow.
The purple glow from from the lights on it. And it's like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But snow. But there's snow on it.
Yes, there is.
So
it's really weird.
Yeah. So it's strange because I haven't experienced a snowstorm. It's not even a snowstorm. It's just snow.
Yeah, and it's not it's not like a blizzard or anything. Yeah. The roads aren't frozen. The snow's not even sticking to the roads. But it's it's been snowing pretty steadily all day, and it's just one of those things that I haven't seen it in like 8 years.
I know it's been a very long time that I've experienced this sort of thing, but not on the regular.
Yeah,
because we visited before, different places, whatever. And we've seen it, but it's not the same of actually just being like, oh, we live here and now we have to deal with this.
Yeah,
which is perfectly fine. It's something that neither of us has experienced before, or hasn't experienced before.
Right.
So. We are, we're doing pretty good with it, but but it's just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you're away from it for so long, you're like, oh, all right, that's what exists.
Yep.
There's some fire, or there's some snow.
Mm-hmm.
We got the fire going.
Yep. We watched a cheesy movie.
Watched a few movies recently.
Watched a couple movies. Yeah.
Yeah. Just actually got done watching, for our buddies at We Hate Movies, Halloween Resurrection.
And I could have sworn I'd seen that movie already, but apparently I have not seen that movie.
I get confused between those two between that movie and Halloween H2O because I feel like they're
so similar, right?
I feel like they're supposed to be similar, but they're not.
Oh, I can't keep it straight. I really can't. There's honestly, I don't even think I think I've seen the original Halloween, but it has been so long since I've seen it that I honestly don't remember it. So it's like one of those things that I'm like, I should probably watch that again. And they do have like a showing at midnight in like a couple weeks, but we aren't able to go, which is kind of a bummer. I'd really like to go see it, but I can always rent it on Amazon or whatever. It's not one of those things I'm going to lose a ton of. I'm not going to lose something if I don't see it in the theater. I don't think anyway. So. Are
you referring to the remake or the new?
No, the original.
Oh.
No, the remake I do want to see.
Halloween's never been.
I never really got into the Halloween franchise. I never got into the Friday the 13th franchise. I never got into the Hellraiser franchise. I like horror movies, but I never latched onto any of those franchises. I don't like Chucky and Child's Play.
Well, that's because those movies suck.
Well, that's because they're awful.
Because those are bad movies.
But yeah, no, I never got into any of those, franchise things.
I've always been more of a franchise guy though, because in the mid to late 80s, my dad, when they would always have Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street movies popping up, we would see them, when they came to video. I distinctly remember seeing part 7 of Friday the 13th, The New Blood, and then definitely remembered seeing all the sequels going forward from I think part 4 of Nightmare on Elm Street. And eventually going to see seeing them later or other ones later on video. I like those movies, I like those kind of movies, but the Halloween franchise is something that's never really latched on to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think I've really, I was really dedicated to watching all those movies.
Yeah.
I remember seeing part 4 and definitely part 4 on video, but that was like years ago, when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, okay.
Yeah.
That's not a very good movie, and then there was all the other ones after it, and those progressively gotten worse. I did see Rob Zombie's Halloween remake, the first one, in the theaters.
Okay.
Saw that, but then I did not see. I haven't seen H2, and this new one apparently is very good.
Yeah,
so
I'd like to see it.
I'm just based on the recommendations and people that are involved. So
I feel like I should watch the first one, the 1978 one, and then watch this remake.
Well, I guess
and then watch this new one.
Well, I guess basically what it is that
because it's supposed to be basically like a sequel. It's like she's older and she's gonna kill him.
Right, but isn't it the sequel? Like the sequel, it's a sequel to just after the first two movies.
That was after the first one.
Maybe it's after the first one. Yeah, because they're basically just kind of like erasing the rest of the shit after it. Although I will say this, and we've both seen this movie in the theater, is Halloween 3.
I like Halloween 3.
I do too.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I think that needs to make its way into my yearly Halloween viewing.
I think
because you know what? I love that fucking movie.
Yeah, no, it's like
it's ridiculous, and I love it. It has nothing to do with the franchise. It's just called Halloween.
Just called Halloween 3, and there's fucking. It's got nothing to do with fucking witches.
Yeah. It's just about it, and it's supposed to be in California. It's so obviously in Ireland somewhere.
No, I think it's. No, you're right. Okay.
The whole village is full of Irish people.
Right.
And it's a factory that makes masks. And all the kids, oh my God, it's so great. And the kids are going to turn into horrible monsters.
No, they don't turn into monsters.
No, but that's the whole point. They wear the mask and it makes them into a demon monster creature.
I don't think that's it. I think it fucking just mashes their head into bugs.
Oh no, because don't they eventually start attacking other people?
You know what? I have to watch it again.
Because I thought that was the whole point. The kids wear the masks, they become weird, gross, nasty monsters, and then they start killing everybody. Because that's what happens at the end. Spoiler for a movie that's 20 years old.
20 is 30.
It's 30 years old. Because in that gas station, those kids show up and start killing at the very end. Because that guy's on the phone being turn off the signal, and no one's listening to him. God, that movie's great.
Yeah, no,
I think we need to own that movie. I really enjoy it.
I'm up for that.
Yeah, I really like it. It's just one of those it's such a crazy, weird horror movie that I'm I enjoy this movie.
What's funny though is so we were watching Halloween Resurrection, and the lead actress who's not Tyra Banks and is not Jamie Lee Curtis, who gets killed off in the very beginning, is Bianca. I always say her name wrong. It's Kajlik.
Mm-hmm.
And Sideshow used to produce her podcast with Ellie, I think, or Knowles or something like that, and they had a mom podcast, Atomic Moms.
Mm-hmm.
And I was explaining to Jen that one time I had to go to their house, and the true tales of Sean Merrick, ended up taking a huge shit.
I feel like you could map places.
I can make a big map of all the places I used to shit.
And I'm why don't you shit before you?
Look, you use it. Look, people use bathrooms in people's houses. That's what it is. I'm not saying that I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying. I just remember I had to take a huge shit. Record a podcast, and look, if she hears it, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, somebody shit in my toilet." I
thought you were going to tell about how she had weird hanging chairs.
She just had she wasn't wearing weird chairs. They were just these decorative chairs that were hanging, because she has a very she had a house that has a very tall ceiling, and the chairs were hanging they're just chairs that are oh, look at these cute chairs that are hanging here next to the thing. Nobody's gonna sit in them. But for some reason, I was I think I'm supposed to sit in this chair, and I tried to kind of start to sit in it, but then realized that I'm a huge ox, and this chair is attached to a string at a very high ceiling, so I could potentially rip her house apart.
Yeah, I'm glad you just.
So I decided to not do that.
I'm glad. That was a good call.
I did not want to be responsible for ruining a poor woman's house.
No,
because I was hey, I just used your toilet. Mind if I sit in this chair? Crash.
Oh, that would have been awful. You probably would have been on the hook for repairs.
I would have just walked into the ocean. Just been like a guy. I'm sorry.
It was like, I'm done.
But it was weird just seeing because I didn't know she was in this movie. I was like, hey, I know her. She's in this.
She was the one that lived.
She lived. Busta Rhymes lived too.
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes was like, I'm surprised that Tyra lived too.
Tyra did not live.
Tyra did not live. I don't remember even seeing her die.
I don't either. And I'm like, oh, she's dead. But when I don't remember how she died, but apparently the last thing I remember her doing is making a cup of coffee, like very poorly. Like spilling it everywhere. And then she's like trying to put whipped cream on it. It's just like going all over the place.
But not only
that, I was just like, did you guys only have one take to do this? Because it is going everywhere. It is just going down the side of the cup and it's all over the place and she's stirring it and it's going everywhere. And I was just like, it was very shitty.
That's like me making a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it was a little ridiculous.
That's like, hey, I'm gonna use some whipped cream here. Oh, it's all over the place.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it went. And then all of a sudden she was dead, and I was like, I don't remember how she died. But in fairness, that movie was so shitty it all just blends together.
Yeah,
there were boobs because it's a horror movie and a Halloween movie.
What I don't understand is when, and this is a thing. Maybe if people are just so horny that they gotta fuck, but they're like, hey, let's fuck in this basement.
Oh no.
And the chick's like, let's get naked, and I'm like,
no, not in that situation. Like, if it was just like, hey, I'm over at my buddy's house and we're gonna fuck in their basement, like, okay, like, it's probably weird down here when there's like an air mattress, but we'll make do. But if we're like exploring a murder house and everybody has video cameras because this is being broadcast to the internet, and we go down and there's like dank nastiness and chains, I'm not going to be like, hey, let's fuck right here.
Yeah, there's a lot of dankness. It's like,
yeah, that's the thing. It's really gross. It's not just being like, hey, my mom hasn't finished this half of the basement and this is where our Nintendo is set up. Let's fuck over here.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a gross, nasty basement that no one's been in for 50 years and there's like spiders and bugs and stuff. And that's gross.
Yeah, don't fuck around spiders.
Gross. Yeah. I mean, that's really a good rule. Don't fuck around spiders.
What else have we seen? So last night, actually, we saw A Star Is Born.
We did.
I don't really have much to say about it. For some reason, I went into it thinking it was going to be like a Rock of Ages kind of movie.
Okay.
You know what I mean? In terms of like campiness.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not. There's no camp in this movie.
But there's no camp. It's just a lot. Basically, if you've seen the movie Country Strong... Or any of the other Star Is Born movies. Well, actually, I don't know, because I've never seen any of the Star Is Born.
Well,
so
it's
I don't
the
know
same story.
Yeah, but does it end like it does? Do they all end like this one did?
I don't know if it ends exactly like this, but there's definitely tragedy and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I would imagine, but...
I think there's death in it, for sure. But I never saw the Judy Garland. I never saw the Barbara Streisand. I never saw the one in whoever else was in it in the 30s. I never saw any of those. I love Lady Gaga, so I was very excited to
Lady
see
Gaga's friggin' awesome.
And she was actually very good in this. She's great in this movie. And the soundtrack's really good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like, I'm on board. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's so good. Because when it was first announced, I was like, if this is terrible, I hope it's so fucking campy.
Yeah.
That I just, like, burlesque campy.
That's what I was expecting.
Like, lean the fuck into that camp. But it's not. It's like a serious Oscar movie. But my problem with it was, like, everybody's like, oh my God, it's so good. And I'm just crying. And it's just like, everybody's like, and I just bawled at the end. I did not cry at the end.
I got mad.
That's the thing. I was pissed. I was like, really? Really, movie? Really, Bradley Cooper's character? You fucking dick. Like, I was not having it.
What is this shit?
Yeah, what is this shit was basically my, I'm not going to like tell people what happened. I don't want to spoil it. The dog is very cute. I would say nothing bad happens to the dog. So if you're,
I don't know. I was pretty upset what happened to the dog at the end.
No, nothing happened to the dog. Though. He was safe.
Yeah, he was safe, but it was just like it was sad. Don't bring the dog into that.
Well, I would just
do your shit. Leave the dog. You know,
the
there shouldn't even been a dog in the first place.
The dog was really cute, though.
I know.
He was a really cute dog. The dog.
I'm upset I'm concerned for the dog's emotional well-being.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Dog was good.
I care more about dogs than I care about humans.
Lady Gaga was good. There are points where Bradley Cooper is unintelligible.
Well, because you know what he's doing.
Because he's supposed to be drunk. I get it.
Basically, he's playing.
He's playing Boomhauer.
He's
from fucking King of the Hill.
He's basically playing Boomhauer as Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
Because like Eddie,
Yes.
because he plays like this musician who's like
a rock guy,
a rock god of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who I don't know really. I guess I wouldn't know how to compare him to in terms of current times, but basically he reminds me of
grunge. People.
Yeah, like a grunge guy, but it's not really grunge. It's kind of like
he did hang out with Eddie Vedder to try to like get this character.
Was that true?
Yeah, absolutely. Did you not know that?
No.
Oh yeah, no. He hung.
Well,
out
I think he did. Did he borrow his jacket?
He may have.
Because is he wearing the same jacket, that the $5 jacket that Eddie Vedder wore in the Jeremy video?
Yes.
It's like he's like I'm all sweaty and tanned and just grimy, and for some reason Lady Gaga is really into me.
Yeah.
You know, which was kind of like, I'm like, all right, you know, different strokes for different folks. I don't know. It just seems like an odd pairing. You know,
I don't know. I mean, I think they have good chemistry. I mean,
oh no. I'm not talking about the character. I'm talking about the actors. Talking about the characters.
Oh, the characters. My question at the very beginning, because Lady Gaga plays a character named Allie, who is like 31, 32 years old, who just would never made it as a singer, even though she always tried. And she meets this guy, and she knows this guy is a fucking raging alcoholic.
Yeah.
And she's still like, okay.
She's like, yeah,
like, I get that. If she were 20, I'd be like, I get it. You don't.
Are we supposed to assume that she's older?
No, she's supposed to be like in her 30s, like early 30s.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I always assumed that we're supposed to assume that she's like, you know, like early mid 20s.
No, because that was the whole like. I mean, reading the stuff, it was just like he told her like this would be you at 30, because Gaga's like 31. This would be you now if you did not make it when you were 21. If you didn't hit big when you were 21. This would be you. So imagine.
Has it been 10 years?
Yes.
All that shit? Holy shit.
Imagine.
Yeah, it was 2008 when the fame came out. Yeah.
Imagine what would have happened if that never happened. If that didn't happen for you, and you were still struggling to make it. That's what you would.
You'd have to hang with moist Eddie Vedder.
You'd have to hang out with moist Eddie Vedder. So, but like, so that I was kind of like, meh. The soundtrack's great. Yeah. I really appreciated. There's like a, you know, when he first meets her, it's in a drag club.
Yeah.
You know, because I guess Gaga used to sing at drag clubs and stuff. And they have two alums from RuPaul's Drag Race. So they have Shangela.
You're right.
Who is very funny. And she always was. She was very, very funny in general. But I was like, oh, look, Shangela getting work. So glad. So Shangela's there. And then there's Willem. And Willem has been in everything as a fucking
Willem was like almost
she was
like
in American Pie.
American Pie. She was, I mean, I feel like she's
American
been in
Pie
other
2
things.
Or 3?
Wait, which one?
Which one was she in? 3?
American Pie 3.
3.
She's in the wedding one.
Yeah. And she's like at a bar.
I feel like she's been in other things.
Oh, absolutely. She's been on like CSI. She's been. Oh, yeah.
She's like the go-to one.
She really is. Yeah, because that was her thing. Like even when she was on Drag Race, she had like a huge IMDb page.
Yeah.
Of like shit she already did.
Yeah.
So
well, that's the thing when we were watching
in drag.
When we were rewatching like I think American Pie, American Wedding, or something.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, it's Willem.
Like, oh, that's Willem. It's like I wouldn't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't know them, but now that since I am privy to the drag race world.
Yes.
You know.
Well, I was glad. You know, I was glad to see.
But they have a good. But they're not just in there for like goofs.
No.
Like they actually have like a good.
They have a story.
There's a good chunk in there that they're like you know, there's like, oh, these are characters.
Yeah.
You know, these are people that, you know, interact along this path. So
yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. That's cool to see. But there's also just like in the terms of like, I don't know, maybe it's hard to tell when you watch a movie and it doesn't go in real time.
Yeah, there was some weird time
things that jump, and but also like, you know, like at one point where she's singing a song to Bradley Cooper and she's like, oh yeah, here's what the song I do, but I don't want anybody to know them because I just keep them to myself or whatever. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to sing this song. And now it's like
next day.
Now me and Pearl Jam are going to fucking play this song. And now it's fucking awesome.
And I'm like, how much? Wait.
Or the Kings of Leon or whatever's backing band is.
And I'm like, we only saw you guys talk about this song for like 2 minutes. Wait, what?
Now it's like this incredible arrangement.
And and now don't worry about it. Without rehearsal, she's going to nail this fucking thing in front of 30,000 people.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Andrew Dice Clay is in this movie?
He sure is. Yeah, yeah. I thought he had a bigger role.
I did too. He was good though.
He was still good.
He was still good. I appreciate that if you were gonna put Andrew Dice Clay in a movie, that he's an authentic human being in it. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I also appreciate that you put two Italian New Yorkers together, so it's not like, It's not Lady Gaga with a fucking Southern accent and Andrew Dice Clay sounding like Andrew Dice Clay. Like, that would just be ridiculous.
Or it's not, Lady Gaga and then her father is played by Colin Firth.
Yeah. No, I was like, I could see that this is good casting.
Yeah, it's great casting.
So, yeah. It was a good, I mean.
What exactly was the business he had? So he's a driver.
I think he owned, like, not a limo company, but it was like a big, the black SUV is like a town car, but like not sedans. And I feel like he ran it out of the house because it was like him and like 3 other old fucks, just
including, what was it, the guy?
One of the guys he played the warden on Orange is the New Black.
Okay, yeah.
So him, and then I recognize the other 2, but I don't remember who they are. They're character actors. I'm sure if you saw them, you'd be like, oh, that guy. But it's 2 other guys, and I feel like their base of operations is Andrew Dice Clay's house.
Right, but they're also like, it feels like they're also running like a boiler room gambling ring out of there, too.
Yeah, I think they're also doing that.
I was like,
yeah, Lady Gaga comes home and she's like, who's betting on horses? She's like, all mad.
Because there's like sports going, it's like, because she gets
like 4 TVs.
But it's at 8 a.m, it feels like.
Yeah. So I was like, I guess they all come over there and like hang out and like smoke and eat until they need to go somewhere.
But like I say, if he's running a driving thing, then none of these guys are driving anywhere.
Well, not only that, but like he ended up getting really supreme parking spaces like right in front of his house.
Right.
In fucking New York.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a borough, but at the same time I'm like, that's like premium space. How the fuck did you pull that off?
Right.
So anyway. Movie.
But there was also there's a surprise Dave Chappelle in it, which I knew he was in it.
Yeah, he's in the
trailer, but surprise in the sense like, who are you in relation? Like, I don't know. I just all of a sudden you're just watching, and then like, Bradley Cooper, has a bender, and he ends up in just lying down like
in Dave Chappelle's front lawn,
which apparently they live in.
He was in Tennessee or Atlanta. He was down. I think it was Tennessee. I think they were in Tennessee.
Right. And then, and they're like, yeah, we're old friends. And apparently, I think, and then I don't know.
There's, for as long as that movie was, because that movie was long. It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes. There were parts where I was like, I really could have used a little bit more here.
You know why it's so long is because you're getting full songs.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's like Halloween, you're dropping full candy bars in your bag. It's like you're getting full songs, you're getting full arrangements.
Oh yeah.
Anytime they're like, "Hey, we're going to sing this song." We're going to sing this whole fucking song.
It's the whole fucking song.
We're singing all Pretty Woman in there.
Oh yeah.
We're doing all of it.
I forgot that was in there.
Yeah, we're doing all of it. She's out there singing at doing Saturday Night Live, and That's right. It's supposed to be like bad. The pop songs could have been a little bit more
better. A little oomphier. I still liked them though. They could have had a little bit more oomph.
Well, here's the thing too.
A little more Gaga for me. Like just a little, just turn that up just a smidge.
I feel like maybe they're more representative of early Gaga.
Oh, I don't know. The Fame Fame Monster was so fucking good.
Right, but I mean, you listen to a song like Just Dance, like that's kind of just, that's basically, it's kind of like in the vein of that sort of stuff.
I know, but I feel like it's not.
I love Just Dance is an awesome song.
Yeah, I feel like it's just not, it doesn't have like the same punch as Just Dance did.
No, it doesn't. I mean, they're not going to be nearly as good because, she's not saving her.
Well, she got those same guys who helped her with that one to come and work on some of these.
Right, yeah.
Also, Willie Nelson's kid helped write a lot of these songs.
Judd Nelson?
I think it's Judd. I don't remember his name. I honestly don't know his name.
I didn't know Willie Nelson's kid was a...
Yeah, he's like a songwriter, and he has a band, apparently. But yeah, he's like a songwriter.
Did you know that Michael Keaton's son is like
he's like a big fucking deal.
He's a big fucking music guy.
Oh, he did something that won like a fucking Emmy. No, a Grammy.
Yeah. He's probably done a lot of stuff.
Shit, I couldn't remember what it was, but I was like, oh shit, he did this. Like, he's done so much shit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, we saw that movie.
His dad's Batman.
His dad is Batman.
So,
if your dad's rich, what else are you going to do with yourself?
My dad's rich Batman. Actually, would it be poor Batman?
Poor Batman would just have been arrested a very long time ago and probably be rotting in Rikers right now.
Poor Batman would just be some guy just punched a guy and then he got...
It'd be like, and then that's it because you got a public defender because you don't have any money.
Yeah. Poor Batman.
Poor Batman.
So yeah, but that's A Star Is Born. We've seen a few other movies too. That's some stuff I feel like I haven't talked about in a while.
Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Maybe
I fell asleep.
Night of the Sleep.
Well, that's just what I do.
That's what Jen does. I put on a movie, she goes to sleep.
Oh, I usually can make it through one movie, but then eventually I'm like, I get cold.
Yeah.
And then I curl up into a ball, and that's when I fall asleep.
Because you get cozy.
Yeah, I got all cozy and I fall asleep.
True enough.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll talk about some other movies. I think we'll talk about a few more next week, because next week will be technically our Halloween episode.
Oh, shit.
Because we don't drop one.
No. Oh, yes.
Because Halloween's on Wednesday.
Yes.
And so we drop one on All Saints Day.
Boo.
But yeah, but we'll talk.
We can just extend Halloween throughout the entire year.
Really, the whole month of October should just be just Halloween.
It really should be a month long holiday.
Let's be honest.
I love it. It's the best.
So, but in keeping in that spirit, we're going to do another, I guess, horror-themed supernatural book, and we'll bust that out and when we come back from our break.
I prowl the rooftops and alleyways at night looking for justice. Blind justice. A guardian devil.
Oh, I don't know why I do that to myself. Look, none of that is true. I'm not Daredevil, Marvel's blind lawyer by day and superhero by night. I'm J. David Weeder, but you can call me Dave. I used to read Daredevil comics, enjoy Daredevil comics, and talk about Daredevil comics, and then I kinda stopped. Well, now I'm back with a new version of the old show. Daredevil Legends is the show where Daredevil, his allies, and his enemies all get put under a scope, get examined, and get discussed on a weekly basis. It's everything that you once loved in a Daredevil podcast, and much, much more to boot. So join me and Marvel's Man Without Fear and his enemies and allies every Sunday at daredevilpodcast.com, iTunes, and the podcatcher of your choice. Take the dare at daredevilpodcast.com. Daredevil Legends, the podcast without fear.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Monster Menace, #1 from December 1993. Now,
these are reprints, aren't they?
These are all reprints.
Yes.
So, and I think there's a series of these. Maybe this is the only one. I don't know. I should actually look it up.
It's so weird. Because the cover has nothing to do with anything that happens in the book.
No.
But my favorite part of the cover is this little. It's not a speech bubble, but it's like a. What would you call that? It's not a speech bubble. It's like a...
What, this thing here?
Yeah.
What are these called?
There's a name for them, and I don't know what it is, but it's like in white, and it's got all these little, like...
It's a gimmick.
Yeah, jagged edges, and it says, inside, a note from Stan Lee to you.
To me?
I did not read it.
Well, I don't care what he has to say.
Yeah, I didn't read what Stan had to say.
I don't care what he has to say. He's not saying anything important that I don't already know.
No.
He's basically just saying, oh.
Yeah, so whether or not they ever ran more than one of these, I have no idea.
You know what?
They may have.
They might, you know what? I could look it up, actually, because now it's going to bother me that it's...
Right, you look it up, I'll describe this cover.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like an orangey cover. We have, like, a big, weird, scaly monster that has, like, big, bony eyebrows. It's kind of like a dinosaur Godzilla thing. Maybe like one of those Pacific Rim kaijus, and he's got all these teeth and he has nails, and there are like futuristic alien babes fighting him, and there's like a cigar shaped flying saucer that's like zapping him in the back. There's these like alien babes, are all dressed in green, and they have like helmets with fins on them,
right,
and they're like flying. And they've got these guns, and they're trying to stop this monster. And it says 4 Tales of Titanic Terror, and that's it. That's all.
Well, there's also it's a 4-issue miniseries.
Okay. So
that's what I thought. I was pretty positive there's more than one of these, but it's a 4-issue miniseries, basically just reprints of, horror stories from like the 60s.
Yeah, like the 50s and 60s.
50s and 60s that Stan Lee and Steve Ditko did, and all those guys did. So. And Jack Kirby and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's and it's cool because you don't have, for the most part, 1993, we're not in the digital age yet. So, and, trades are expensive. So why not put something out like this,
Right.
Just put it out there for, people that are like, oh, that's kind of cool. So, yeah. So, we picked this up. I think I bought this at, Mile High over the summer. And because I was like, we should do this for Christmas. For Christmas. We should do this for Christmas.
Yeah.
No, we should do it for Halloween. Because we never do, we never have these things prepared. So here it is. I want to say my favorite part of the cover is this little green monster. I think this is Babadook or whatever the guy's name is later.
It's Timbabu. Timbuba.
Timbuba.
Which, that's such a... We'll talk about it.
Yeah, Timbuba. He's like up in the part in where the price is and stuff. I forgot what this. I wonder if there's a name for this too.
I'm sure there is.
But he's up in his corner where the Marvel Comics is. He's just kind of like, he kind of looks like Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah.
You know, and it reminds me of Ernest Borgnine looking for a Dairy Queen. Which I think we'll talk about that next week because we got to talk about that some of those other movies. That one we watched with him as the Amish guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
I didn't fall asleep during that one.
No, you didn't.
Nope.
Shockingly, you did not.
No, I wanted to watch that movie.
Yeah. And you did. So the first story is called "I Spent Midnight with the Monster on Bald Mountain."
That's kind of a clunky title.
Yeah.
And it really isn't. I don't know. It's not really representative of what I feel the story is about. This is my favorite story in this book.
Right.
There's a very specific reason why.
Oh, okay.
Which I will show you when we get there. But it's about this guy who's like a sculptor.
Well,
he's like, I was at the height of my career, and I gave it all up to go live in some fucking nowhere creepy mansion and just dedicate myself to my art.
They should have remade A Star Is Born with this guy.
They really should have.
But for sculpting.
But for sculpts, yeah. For sculpting.
And he has to find lady sculptor guy. And she's like, oh, I can help you, but she's sculpting at a drag queen club.
Yeah.
She's sculpting a statue of Willem.
Yeah, she's just making boobs for queens. That's
just making fake boobs for queens.
That's boobs for queens, man. It's an actual company. They
right,
make
but
boobs.
that's how the Star is Born for sculptors. And this guy would be there. And he's like, but he got burned out, and he went to Bald Mountain, which
is super creepy. Don't worry about it. It's creepy. It's super creepy.
Bald
and creepy.
Is it because this mountain has no hair?
No, it just looks like it's basically every like creepy Dracula castle you've ever seen.
Well, the practicality of building a castle on this road of this deal here, it's you know, I mean, from what you're supposed to understand here is that it's basically just like this standalone random mountain in the middle of Central Europe, and it's like
a Dracula castle.
Yeah, it's a Dracula castle, and it's just I love it. It's
every Dracula castle you've ever seen. So this guy's like, I'm going to make art.
Yes, art.
So he sculpts bones, and he thinks to himself the whole time. He's like, oh, and I'm adding more bones, and da-da-da. So what he does is he basically creates these two, like, Greek-looking dudes, like Olympian Greek type of things, who are, like, look like they're going to battle each other.
Right. Well, one looks like a.
One is yellow, one is brown. Or
well, he says here.
Red.
He says the clay for the good has been gathered from holy and sacred ground. The clay for the evil is from places of infamy. Strange how it has turned dark and cold. So maybe he's just using.
He's like, oh man, I'm gonna immortalize the struggle between good and evil with these two dudes fighting each other, and I'm going to use clay from good places and clay from bad places.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So he builds these things. And then one night, lightning comes in and it strikes the evil one, and he comes to life.
Yeah.
And it's going to start just beating up the statue that's not alive, but it notices him.
He beats up the statue, and why didn't this new statue, the good statue, just break?
Well, yeah, I don't know, and it didn't come to life either. It's just a statue still. This is kind of like that creepy horse outside of DIA.
Yes.
Which, if nobody knows this story, there is a really weird...
Denver International Airport.
Yeah, DIA, Denver International Airport, has a very strange blue... It's like 15 feet tall, 15 to 20 feet tall. It's a bronco horse. And he's bright blue, and he's up on his hind legs, and he's just like snorting and rearing up, and he's not a pretty horse.
No.
He has red eyes that light up at night, and he looks possessed. He has a huge set of balls.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry about that. But
make sure you get those balls in.
You gotta get those balls. But apparently when the sculptor was making this horse, which he is called Blucifer, that's not the actual name of the sculpture, but everybody calls him Blucifer, because he has red eyes and is blue. he fell onto his creator and severed an artery, and the dude bled to death. And now he sits outside of Denver International Airport. So, good times, I guess. I don't know why. It's just there. It's really creepy.
Never be a sculptor.
Right. See, this is what happens when you sculpt.
Only sculpt boobs for drag queens.
Yeah, I mean, only...
Because those can't kill you.
Either that or only, like, claymation, because they're small.
Right.
So don't do anything big that can fall on you or get hit by lightning and come to life.
Yeah, it's just stay indoors.
Yeah, don't go outside.
Don't go outside. Don't go in a castle.
No. Creepy castles.
Stay from castles, because castles might get hit by lightning.
Yeah, I mean, if you really need to get away from it all, just get a cabin in the woods. Don't get a creepy castle.
So this monster is freaking the fuck out. This guy runs over.
Apparently it's a cannon.
He goes into he's in this, because his castle is equipped with weaponry, particularly a loaded cannon.
Yeah.
Which apparently does nothing.
Yeah, it just bounces off him.
Just bounces off. It bounces off, actually best described as the Lou Ferrigno Hulk.
Oh,
but brown.
Yeah.
Entirely brown.
Honestly, he looks red.
Yeah, reddish brown.
He looks very red. So he is outside. The monster picks him up, and he's dangling him over the side of the castle. And he's like, oh my God, he's going to drop me. And he's like, wait, why isn't he dropping me? And it's because good has come to life.
Yeah.
So the bad statue literally throws this man at the good statue.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite things.
It's pretty great. Well, no, hey.
You got to throw what you got.
Yeah. It's a weapon.
Use that human being as a weapon. But I guess the good guy catches him, puts him down, whatever. And then they start fighting, whatever. And they destroy each other, basically.
Yeah.
And then the very last panel is this guy being like, well, I guess I'm not going to go sculpt in that castle because it's pretty much destroyed. And he's holding both heads under his arm. Like he's got one in one arm. That's why I love this story. Look at that. Not only did he get hurled at somebody as a weapon, then he gets to hold heads at the end of this.
What is he doing? Is he just looking up? Is he looking up at like a ray of moon? He's just like, or he's just like looking up at a cloud. And
That's what I don't get, because I'm like, at first I thought, oh, he's looking up at like the castle because he escaped. And I'm like, no, he's holding the heads of his creations. I don't know what the fuck he's looking at.
Yeah,
because I thought like they're still up at the castle, so he's like looking longingly. No, he's holding the heads of both his creations.
He's like, why?
Like, what do you think he's gonna do with that now? Because he can't go back to the castle. He's gonna like put those in a backpack and like try to get them through TSA.
Yeah, they're gonna be art. He's gonna go to. He's gonna go. Well, he's in Central Europe, so he'll probably just go to like Germany or something, or Austria, and be like, "Hey, I got some art. Give me money," and they'll be like, "Sure,
yeah,
here you go."
Is that how it works? Do you just like walk into Germany and go, I have art, and they just give you money?
Yeah. Dude, Europeans love everything.
Except Americans.
Except Americans. Except for this dipshit.
Justifiably, let's just say that.
But they love severed clay heads.
Oh, apparently they love severed clay heads.
You can put that in
Europeans love severed clay heads.
Yeah, you could build a dance club around that.
You know what? In Germany, you probably could.
In Germany, yeah, shit. You could be like, you could film a XXX sequel there.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking like not like a porn.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel and XXX movies and its XXX equivalent. You could do that.
Yeah, Germany's got some weird porn.
You could do it all right there. It'd be like, oh, thank God this guy came with his
clay heads,
clay sculpted heads that he found or that he had that were brought to life, and we're gonna play nothing but Kraftwerk. and Einstein Neubauten.
Sure. Yeah.
I just butchered that band's name. I can never say it right.
I know who you're talking about.
He's like, y'all get it.
I know what you mean, but I've always butchered their name as well.
Yeah. So that's the first story. Second story. What lurks on Channel X?
I assume pornography.
Yes.
This is like back when you had to watch scrambled Cinemax.
It's basically essentially what these people are doing. They're watching scrambled Cinemax to catch a bit of Emmanuel in the desert.
Oh shit! I used to watch Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean that's what you try to watch it on.
That's all we had back in the 80s.
That's all you had. You had to see what was going on with Emmanuelle. She was doing all sorts of things.
She was like, "Where's Emmanuelle now?" I was like, "Oh, she's in the supermarket." Oh, okay. Great.
Who's
Emmanuelle's erotic supermarket? Yeah. Joe D'Amato. R.I.P.
Emmanuelle, like in France, Emmanuelle in the desert, Emmanuelle in the supermarket. It just sort of got like a little bit low rent there towards the end.
Well, they ran out of places.
Yeah, well.
They could do it on the sea. They've done it on the sea. She's been in space.
Just running out of places.
Emmanuelle at AutoZone. There you go. I just pitched the movie.
Good job, babe.
So, so this is a story about a married couple.
Yes.
Who
they live in like an apartment.
They live in a nice apartment, and husband comes home and he's like, "Haha, I brought you a puppy."
I'm assuming this is the 50s. He is wearing a hat.
Because we don't wear hats now.
Well, yeah. I mean, men. We've seen Mad Men.
Yeah.
This is when dudes actually wore hats to go to work in the morning. Every day.
This is Harry Crane at home.
This is exactly what this is. And so he comes in. He's like, "Hey, wife. I was walking down the street. I saw this adorable puppy at a pet store. I bought it for you." And she's like, "Yay, I love puppies. I can't wait." But their mean landlord here's barking.
Mr. Cragley.
And he's like, "Hey, can't have a fucking dog here because it's not on the lease. This is no pet building."
Yeah. And you signed this lease, but you still brought a dog in here anyways, like a dummy.
Get that. Either you guys get rid of the dog or you get out of here. And so she has to like give the dog to her sister, who I'm assuming lives on a farm.
Yes.
Upstate. R.I.P. that dog.
Can we just assume that you gave the dog to her sister and the dog lives?
Yes, the dog is fine. The dog is fine.
Would you like kill that dog?
He's on a farm with all sorts of other dogs.
Oh man. Dog farm.
So they're like, "Man, he's so mean." And then somebody knocks on their door and they're like, "Oh, it's probably that stupid landlord again, just being stupid."
It's like, let's open the door and fucking kill him.
Yeah, and they open it. It's just like some really
just throw him down the stairs.
Creepy dude to be like, "Hey, I'm going to give you this TV. Bye."
Literally walks in.
And they're like, "Wow, thanks. I can't wait." And who the fuck would take a TV? If somebody came to our door today and gave us a TV, would you take it?
Nope.
No, of course not. There was something wrong with that TV.
And so, first of all, we have a no soliciting sign on our door. So don't you come fucking near our house with that shit. You stay away.
Yeah, 100%.
From our house, because I don't want your space TV.
Yeah.
But if you do come over and you're like, "Hi, I
am a stranger." Not, "Hey, guys, I just upgraded my TV. You guys want this?"
Yeah, you're not a neighbor. If you're just a guy that is just driving around and you're like, "Hey, we need to find some random people
to give this TV
to give these TVs to." I'm
calling the police.
I'm probably going to decline.
I'm definitely going to decline. I'm going to assume that you're trying to like launder this TV somehow, and that you will come back for it eventually.
There's definitely something
after
inside.
The heat is off.
Let's be honest. There's definitely something inside this TV that is illegal.
Oh, 100%.
There's definitely like fucking like contraband rubies in there.
Especially if it's like an old school like tube TV. There's cocaine in that.
You can fit a lot of things into those old school ones. Somehow though, this guy's just like, "Hey, I'm just gonna hand you this TV by holding it up top."
Yeah, because it's got like a weird handle at the top.
Yeah,
and they're like, purple. "Thanks, mister. We've never get anything for free. This is so great." And so they plug it in because
I don't even get free samples at Costco.
Yeah, this guy's sad.
I go in there and they just fucking slap my hand out.
And so he's like, I have to like put something outside, like run the line outside.
He's got to set up like a gimmick antenna because this guy's like, "I'm gonna steal some fucking cable."
Yeah, So they turn it on and they're like, "Oh, Channel X. I've never heard of Channel X." And I'm like, "Oh man, you people are sheltered." And so they're watching it, and then they realize they're being hypnotized, and this face pops up, and it turns into like an alien face.
Well, first it's a guy pops up, and he's like,
he just looks like a fucking a longshoreman.
Well, no, so it pops up, and it's a man who calls himself Jordan.
Yeah, but he looks like just like some rough dude who works on the dock.
Yeah, he looks like Marlon Brando.
Yeah,
and then his face morphs into
a frog,
a glop frog,
mm-hmm.
And then apparently they're getting hypnotized So I do want to say, though, I kind of wish he called himself Jordan and it was Michael Jordan. And it was just the crying Jordan meme. Which, let's be honest, that would probably hypnotize most of America and the meme crazy kids today.
What do you think GIFs are?
This is the first GIF.
It really is.
The first GIF, guys.
And it's just like a bunch of aliens are like, hello, Earth. By the way, we're from planet whatever.
No, they're from Pluto.
Oh, that's right. They're from Pluto.
This is literally Pluto TV, which is a service that
it is Pluto TV.
Is actually quite cool.
Yes.
I actually enjoy Pluto TV because basically somehow they get the rights to just having like constant streaming channels of like random ass content, including Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. If I need some Mystery Science Theater, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. But so they're like, look, we're coming from Pluto and we're going to
we're taking this place over.
We're taking over.
We're going to enslave humans and basically y'all are fucked.
Y'all are fucked, but the only thing that could stop us is if we don't actually hypnotize you.
Yeah.
Okay, but so all of a sudden, the signal stops.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, fuck free shit forever.
It's like, I knew I shouldn't have taken that TV. Also,
I have an axe at my house.
That's what I was going to say. We live in an apartment building, probably in the middle of New York, but for some reason I have a fucking axe in my house.
Hey, we got a baseball bat by the door.
Yeah, but
We've had that baseball bat for years.
Yeah, but a baseball bat makes sense. You could be like, I'm going to go actually play some baseball down at this park in the city. What the hell would we do with an axe?
I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense if you
These people were definitely plotting to kill that landlord.
100%.
Because you just don't have an axe hanging out.
Well, that was the thing. They were going to chop that guy into bits. They were like, you made me give up my dog. Therefore.
Yeah, they thought he was coming back. They were getting ready. That's what that axe was. That's what I said. Yeah. So the wife's like, smash the bitch. You know?
They do. And then they're like, oh no, we failed. Back to Pluto.
So that's it. This is the problem.
They tried one fucking couple.
But they were trying to give it to other people.
That's the thing. They were like, you guys are the first ones. Oh, well, our signal stopped from this one TV. We're done.
Well, apparently they weren't even... so this is... they're in the woods somewhere.
This is Gotham.
Yeah, actually, yeah, what's his face? Butch is running through the woods with a rocket launcher. And, these idiots are just like, oh, no, our hypnosis didn't last. Oh, the Earth can't be conquered. We must go to another planet and fuck with them.
All it takes for the Earth not to be conquered is for us to smash one TV.
Yep, that's it.
I guess if it's the right one.
Well, look, if we're ever under, let's remember that.
Oh, they're never coming down here.
But if they do,
they're not going to. Any civilization who is smart enough to master space travel will take a look at what's going on in this fucking shit show and go, you know what? We'll come back for the resources after they kill each other. I don't want to get involved. Don't let them know we're here.
The extraterrestrials are treating Earth like, you kind of treat like Toys R Us going out of business.
Yes.
They're going out of business, but everything is still way too expensive.
Extraterrestrials treating Earth.
So I'll come back when there's something left.
Yeah.
But not everything.
Yeah. It's extraterrestrials treating Earth like people who've decided not to go to Walmart at 5 a.m. on Black Friday.
Right.
Because you're like, I don't want to be murdered.
I don't want to get trampled.
I don't want to die. I also don't want to freeze to death, so I'm going to stay away from that, and maybe I'll swing by, if I go out at all on Black Friday, maybe about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'll see what's there.
And if there's stuff there, cool. And if there's not, no big deal.
If not, I'll get some coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are, that's the extraterrestrials. They're like, you know what? I'm going to not get those doorbusters. I'm going to make sure I don't get trampled.
Doorbusters. Jesus Christ.
It's a shit show.
So basically what happens, though, is we find out that Mr. Cragley, who
shitty landlord
was going to be murdered,
yes,
was like, look, you were stealing cable.
Yeah.
So I stopped you from doing that.
I cut that line
because you're supposed to use the same shit as everybody else.
Yeah.
And they're like,
wow, you're the best landlord ever. And he's like, I don't get tenants.
Yeah. They're like, it's like, oh, you saved our lives and you saved the Earth. And he's like, what? Fine. Whatever.
It's like, whatever.
Whatever. Just don't Just don't kill me in my sleep.
Yeah, please.
I know you have an axe. I see it right there.
I know what you're planning.
I mean, I had to take that puppy away from you guys because you're probably going to sacrifice that puppy to, like, Satan or something.
Now this couple's real fucked up. I mean, they do take free TVs.
Yeah, these people don't know shit.
No, I mean,
a
that's like
dumbass
rule
couple.
number 1 of being an adult. Never take a free TV
Yeah.
from someone who shows up at your door.
Yeah, don't take anything free. Like, I once took
Oh, no.
a woman who, okay.
Wait, you took a woman for free?
Took a woman for, somebody was like, hey.
Would you like this free woman?
It's like, yeah, this is a good, should I don't know. So a woman walked in to the store, the record store that I used to work at in the Galleria Mall in Buffalo. And she literally went to Dairy Queen, which is next door to us, and walked in with a strawberry sundae and was like, I just bought this and I realized I didn't want it. Does anybody here want it? And then I was like, I guess I'll eat it. Oh, no. So then my boss was like, okay, you can go to the back and eat it.
How'd that go for you?
I lived.
Well, okay, good. I'm glad you survived, but you should never take...
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, looking back at it, I was like,
you know
why would
what you put in there?
I don't know. Your husband's an idiot.
Well, no. I mean, I'm sure it was fine. It was obviously all on the level, but at the same time, don't eat them.
Well, also, too, I mean, it's strange. It should have been strange enough to me that a random woman who walks into a store and just goes, I just don't want this sundae. Who wants it? I would have been like, no, thank you. You could.
That is the correct answer.
You can go throw it out.
Yes.
Or you could just give it back to the people at Dairy Queen and they can eat it.
Because at least they know what's in it.
At least they made it. Or maybe they don't because you walked away with it. So maybe you put, fucking cyanide in it or some
I don't know
shit.
what you're doing.
Or fucking maybe you put some protein or
I don't know,
whatever.
fucking interspace this shit, putting little tiny spaceships in there.
Yeah, maybe there's a bit of space
that's
in there.
exactly what happens in interspace. They're in a fucking mall and somebody gets injected.
Yeah.
God. That's a movie we should watch again.
Yeah, I don't want to eat Dennis Quaid. Excuse me, ma'am. Is Dennis Quaid in this?
I haven't seen that movie in forever, but I swear to God, I've seen it about 100 times.
That's a movie that I remember very vividly.
Yes, same.
I remember a lot of scenes from it. It's like I remember it. I have better remembrance of Interspace than I do most episodes of CSI, which I only have very fleeting memories of.
I thought you were going to say I have more memories of Interspace than I do of my family.
Yeah, we'll say Interspace Merrick. Interspace Merrick. He got confirmed.
The fifth brother.
The fifth brother.
The fifth sibling.
It's just a VHS copy of Interspace. This is your brother now, Sean.
Wears pants.
Let's see.
Just a VHS copy wearing a fucking pair of pants.
Oh.
It's your brother, Interspace Merrick.
So that's how that story ends. The next story, here's where we get our letter from Stan Lee.
I didn't read it.
I can't read. I don't want to read it.
We just can't read.
I just can't read anything Stan Lee writes.
I don't
Because he's like, hey, here's some monsters. I'm like, yeah, okay, great.
Thanks, Stan Lee. Bye.
Thank you.
You're still alive as of right now?
Yeah, it's still alive.
You know what? There used to be a website on the internet, and it was, is Abe Vigoda alive? And you could go there and find out if Abe Vigoda was still alive.
And you can still go there and find out that he's dead.
And he is dead now.
It'll tell you if you want to know if he's alive, you can find out, and you will find out that he's no longer alive.
No, and it was very sad when he died because I was very sad. But there really should be a, is Stan Lee still alive?
Oh man,
kind of like that. How long has it been since DC has done something dumb counter that resets every time DC does something stupid?
Yeah,
and we just need one of those. But like for Stan Lee, is he still alive?
We need that for a lot of people. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. There's a lot of people that I need to remember are still alive.
Well, shit. Who the fuck tweeted the other day? I was like, that guy's still alive.
There was shit. Well, there's a lot of wrestlers too that like.
Well, no, it was some like
died.
old comic from the 50s. I can't remember.
Dick Van Dyke?
No, he's still alive.
Yeah, no, he's still alive. He's in the new Mary Poppins for crying out loud.
Shit. Well, yeah. I mean, he was in the old one.
Well, yeah, because Dick Van Dyke is like tap dancing like every minute of his life.
Well, that's the thing. My grandmother always used to say, once you sit, you die. So you have to get up and you have to keep active.
He is out there He's got a young wife.
Yep.
He's got
She's like a fucking our age.
Yeah, she's like our age, and he's out there, and he's got a lot of cats.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been to his house.
Yeah.
I did not ruin his house like I did, almost ruin his house like I did Bianca Kaiser's house. But yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was Carl Reiner's still fucking alive.
Oh yeah, no, I just met Carl Reiner last year.
He's 96.
He just wrote a book, and he came in, and he was like, "Hey, I'm Carl Reiner. I'm still fucking alive." I'm like, "All
He's
right."
still fucking alive.
Mel Brooks still alive.
He was born.
Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner still eating lunch together.
Carl Reiner was born in 1922.
Holy shit!
Right?
That's a long time
That's
ago.
a long fucking time, man.
He's older than my grandfather. My dad's father was, I think. Yeah, because I think my grandfather was 1926.
Betty White
was
also born in 1922. So she's still kicking.
They're all living.
Mm-hmm.
All living.
Mm-hmm. Kirk Douglas, I believe, is still alive.
Kirk Douglas is like 105.
He is. He's very old.
He is.
He was born. He's 101. He was born in 1916. It's crazy.
Same.
My grandmother was born in 1918. She's dead.
That's it. She's dead.
She's dead. Sorry, she's dead. But he's not dead.
No.
Wow, crazy. All right, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're just gonna have a podcast called "Who's Alive?" And it's just us naming people who are still alive.
I kind of like that
as
idea.
of the recording date of the podcast.
You know, I kind of like that.
Eventually, we will be wrong.
It's a very useful podcast where it's just like, who's alive? Kirk Douglas, and people will be like, "Oh shit, Kirk Douglas,
Carl Reiner,
Carl Reiner,
still alive."
Oh, who else is
Mel
alive?
Brooks.
Fucking this guy, this woman, Betty White.
Yeah,
so many people living.
So many people still alive.
So many people that live on the ground. All right, let's get back to talking about monsters.
All right.
Here's the aforementioned terror of Tim Booba.
This is a dumb story. I don't like it at all.
I like Tim Booba because it sounds like it could be like a real person's name.
It does, actually.
It's like, hi, I'm Tim Booba. I'm a graphic designer in San Diego. I create memes for the local newspaper.
Oh, you mean he's the social media manager for a local newspaper?
Yes.
Yes, Tim Booba.
Tim Booba.
Yep.
Tim Booba.
Social media manager for
media
the
maven,
San
Tim
Diego
Booba.
Chronicle.
I've also branched out. I do some stuff with the local morning show.
Oh, yeah.
And then occasionally, when Comic-Con comes to town, I create memes. I create witty pictures. What I'll do is I'll take the staff of the morning show and I'll put their heads on superheroes.
Yes.
So sometimes we have Kent Duda, and he's the head anchor here at San Diego Channel number 5, and here's his face on Thor's body.
Yeah.
Tim Booba.
Yeah. I also
San Diego
I have
meme
been
man.
known to, use that meme of the guy with his girlfriend looking at the other girl walking by. I'll put the news anchors' heads on them, and then I'll write stuff like Kent Doodah, and it'll say, like, the girlfriend will say, like, a good night's sleep, and then the other girl says, like, San Diego Chargers game. And back when there were our team.
But it's an old one. It's kind of like it's a throwback. It's a throwback.
But you know what? It got the most likes. It got 49 likes. That's the most likes we've ever gotten on Facebook for any of my memes.
49 likes, 41 retweets.
Yeah, and you know what? I was so proud of that because I really felt like I connected with the community.
I did. I treated myself to a personal pan pizza.
You could get better food in San Diego than a personal pan pizza.
Well, if you're Tim Booba, you're the budget's tight.
That's right. You're making social media money, and that means you're making dick.
Also, you're in San Diego, which ain't cheap.
No, San Diego ain't cheap. Great city, though.
Yeah, I love San Diego. But yeah, so the terror of Tim Booba. Now, I'm not gonna be able to not say that guy say this without actually thinking it's a real person.
Yeah, it's just and it's Tim space Boo space Ba.
Right.
B-A.
It's not just Tim Booba.
Yeah, no, it's Tim Booba. And he's this big green monster, and he rules this planet, and he is a tyrant.
He is a tyrant.
That's literally all you really need to know about this.
He rules over
enslaves-
a bunch of skinny Professor X's.
Yeah. And he enslaves everybody, and he's a shit face, and nobody likes him.
He looks like Ernest Borgnine.
He looks like Ernest Borgnine. One day, he is standing on his planet, and it gets flooded.
There's just a lot of him.
That's what I mean. All you have to do, there's no reason to go.
Because it's written like it's different. It's basically like 9 panels per page.
Yeah, and it's just like, Tim Booba is a tyrant. Tim Booba enslaves. Tim Booba tortures. And it's basically like that, but
We get a close-up of his teeth.
none of that actually matters because it's the same thing over and over again.
I like this. I like this thing where it's like gaze upon the face, gaze upon his mouth.
Well, they also made
The mouth says attack.
They also made a giant statue of Tim Booba, which is kind of like that statue in Futurama where Bender makes that big statue of himself, and it's just like, remember me.
Pretty much.
And it like breathes fire. I love it.
I do like here we get to see Tim Booba without his helmet.
Oh yeah,
Which means he does actually look like Ernest Borgnine here.
he really does look like Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine going to look for.
But basically, he's a really shitty leader, and he is
Well, he's just a tyrant.
He's a tyrant, and that's the thing. And one day he's standing on his planet, and what happens? But water comes, a big glop of water, and it washes Ernest Booba. It washes him and his entire planet away, and that's the end of it. And then we cut. It
looks like somebody jizzed on that planet.
It really does. And then we zoom out and we see that it's just this kid's room, and he made a model of the solar system, and like someone, I don't know who, is pouring water. Tom is pouring water on one of his planets, and that is the planet that the Booba lived on.
Yeah.
And now he's dead at the end.
Yeah.
Because some kid just dumped water on him.
Yeah, he just dumped water on this planet. Yeah.
That's it.
And that's the end of Tim Booba. He is now relocated to someplace.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh wait. Oh,
Tim Booba, the tyrant, or the guy?
The meme man,
the social media guy.
I was gonna say he's social
he's
media.
He's moving back home. He's originally from Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And he's gonna work for the Arizona Sentinel down there, making memes for them. He has a lot of,
but only part time.
He has a lot of real hot takes for the Cardinals.
Well, they actually have a football team. It's like now I can actually talk about a football team that actually is here instead of making old school memes. Now I could put, instead of having to put, fucking Dan Fouts' head on memes, now I can actually do like current players.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Who cares about their sports teams less? Los Angeles with both the football teams that they have. Or Denver and the Denver Nuggets?
Clearly Denver and the Nuggets. Because I have not seen one hint.
No. Denver does not give any fucks about the Denver Nuggets. Let me just tell you.
It is sad.
They never have. Ever since I was a kid, nobody's ever given a fuck about the Nuggets.
It's very sad.
It is actually very sad.
And
because you can walk into a store and you're like, man, what kind of local sports
you go to a Target, they have all the local fucking apparel and shit.
Yeah, but it's like, here's your don't even fucking talk about all the Broncos shit. There's like 18 aisles of Broncos shit.
All the time there's Broncos stuff.
All the time. And here's some Avs stuff, and here's your Colorado Rockies stuff. There is never...
Here's some University of Colorado stuff.
Yep, or Colorado State, or local high school team.
Yeah.
But guess what? They don't have Nuggets anything.
I was lucky to find some Nuggets shirts at
but it was like a dedicated sports store.
Right. Yeah, I found them at the Castle Rock outlets, and I bought a Nuggets shirt. I plan to buy a Nuggets hat at some point.
A hat?
I plan to buy some more Nuggets apparel. I don't know why. I just feel, but I want to find some old school Nuggets apparel.
Yeah,
because I like the ugly logo from the '80s.
Yeah, it was really ugly.
I'm a logo guy.
I know you are. Yeah. And it was really ugly.
So
that's the end of that. And now we have.
So now the final story here is I fought the Molten Man thing, and basically
the story can be broken down into white savior narrative.
Oh yeah,
That's all this is. It is white dude goes to exotic location where there are brown people and he saves them.
Yeah.
That's it.
So basically, this starts out like the Denzel Washington movie Flight.
Is he drunk?
Minus the
drinking?
Minus the tiny bottle drinking and the fucking rampant alcoholism.
I have never seen that movie.
We watched it.
No, we did not.
Yes, we did. We got a screener of it.
Did I fall asleep?
You don't remember him watching that? Where like
nope.
he had to land the plane upside down?
I remember
because he was fucking drunk and a bunch of people. Some people died, but then like because it wasn't his fault that the plane fucked up. But he eventually.
Maybe I vaguely remember it. I think I kind of slept through it.
You probably did.
I'm certain.
But I definitely watched it.
But I do know the premise of the Denzel Washington movie Flight.
Yeah.
In which he is a drunk.
Uh-huh.
And he lands a plane.
So basically that's what happens here. Kind of. And
he's a cargo pilot.
Yeah, and then this guy's like, "Ah, fuck, man. I don't know if I should be flying." And
he's like, "Oh, my nerves."
My nerves.
And his boss is like, "Why don't you go take a vacation?" He's like, "Good call." So I'm going to go to this like random
Vacations always don't solve everything.
I don't know, but he goes to this random island in the Pacific that is made up. It has a made up name. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Yeah, here I am on a beach. Isn't this great? Oh no, a volcano." And the volcano explodes. And of course, the native people who live there are like, "Dude, run away from the fucking volcano."
Uh-huh.
Because it's a fucking volcano. And
well, not only is like, look, run away from the volcano, but also run away from the man monster that has been created out of this volcano.
Yeah, it's like Man-Thing, except it's made of lava.
Uh-huh.
The one thing that I am interested in about lava is like, you know when that volcano was erupting over on whatever island that was on Hawaii recently?
Uh-huh. Okay.
And they would like show footage of the lava. It is slow as fuck. It's just like, and I don't know if that's because like it's just naturally slow or this particular volcano is slow.
Yeah.
But like the actual flow is pretty damn slow.
Right.
However, and it looks like something you could just walk up and like touch.
Yeah.
But you can't because it is molten.
Yeah.
And that's what I find interesting about volcanoes. It's just sort of like
I feel the same way, guys. I want to touch lava.
Yeah, I really do. I feel like it would.
I know I shouldn't, and
I will not touch lava, but it's so tempting. It kind of looks like I feel like silly putty.
I just want to put my hand in and be like, "Yay!"
Then you come back with no hand.
No,
I don't even think you can get that close.
No, you can't. It's not fun and games like the movie Volcano. The coast is toast.
So
did I ever tell you that the one time I was going to see episode 1? No, it wasn't episode 1. It was the re-release editions of one of I think it was Empire or whatever. And they had a copy. They had a trailer for Volcano. And some woman just randomly, like when they show the coast is toast, some woman just reads, "The coast is toast." and then
Chipotle.
Yeah, it's like why are you reading?
It's like the Kyle Kinane. There's this comedian Kyle Kinane. He has a bit about how like you can tell you're getting older because you just like randomly read signs as you drive.
So he's just like, "Oh, you're just driving." You just go, "Chipotle." But that's kind of how it is. You know, you kind of just ride by and you kind of just go, "Look at that place." Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tokyo
Joe's. I want to go back there. And then you do. Sometimes you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's kind of what you do. It's basically like we have the conversations in the car that like people have when they do reenactments on Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, 100%.
And it's just people being like, "Chipotle!" And then they get murdered or they drive into some fog and they disappear.
Yep.
So anyway, the white savior is like, "I'm going to throw some spears at him."
Yeah, he's like, "No, don't run away from the lava monster." And I'm like, "No, run away from the lava monster."
Yeah.
These people are right. You're an idiot. So he's like, "No, I'm going to throw spears at them." And they just like, burst into flames.
So somehow he runs throughout this island and gets to an airfield.
Oh, yes.
Because, there's an airfield. He's a pilot. He flew his own plane there, I assume.
Sure.
And he was like, haha, I'm at this airfield. I'm going to run into this wind tunnel. I activate it, and the wind tunnel...
I'm going to point it at this thing.
I'm going to point it at this lava monster, and since he got hit with a bunch of cold air, the lava monster goes back into the volcano.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I kind of figured... And they're like, oh my god, you saved us, white guy. And he's like, yeah, I figured it can't really be a monster made of lava. It's a living being, like, inside the lava. And
It's Ernest Borgnine.
And if Ernest Borgnine gets cold, then he dies. So then he retreats into his
He just
lair
wanted to find the
inside
Dairy
earth.
Queen.
That's all he wanted.
Came out of the lava and was like...
Also touching random children in that fucking thing. It's really weird.
We have to...
We
Okay,
gotta
real quick.
context.
Yeah, okay, real quick. We'll reference it now. There's a video.
There's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of videos. You can just look up Ernest Borgnine tour bus.
Yeah.
Or something. Just Ernest Borgnine bus.
I think it's Ernest Borgnine bus.
Yeah, just look up Ernest Borgnine bus, and basically there was a video.
Well, there was like, before reality TV was really big.
Yeah, just...
There's this crew that decided they were going to follow Ernest Borgnine around on this like camper bus thing.
Well, it's a camper he bought basically, from his days in
because
movies.
he's like a fucking old man, so of course he's going to RV his way across the United States, and that was exactly what he was going to do. So they were
the
going to
Sun Bum. That's what it was called.
And they were going to follow him in his little bus as he went around the country. But there's this one where he's just like, all he wants to do is find a Dairy Queen, and so he keeps stopping in like random towns and asking people where a Dairy Queen is. And then every time there's like an 8-year or 9-year-old kid, he's always like patting him on the shoulder and being like, good kid, there's no drugs out here, good children, where's my Dairy Queen? And you're like, what is happening? It's very weird. It's boring, so I wouldn't recommend watching.
He walks into that Dairy Queen and the fucking people lose their shit.
Because it's Ernest. It's Ernest Borgnine.
They're like, oh my god, Ernest
Also,
Borgnine.
in,
Some
like,
woman's
the
like, I'm with the newspaper, I love you.
The early 90s.
We didn't have any celebrities back then.
Well, not that.
We only had Ernest
we
Borgnine
didn't
and
have
like
the internet back then.
we only had Ernest Borgnine and Anna Nicole Smith.
That was it.
That was it.
Those are the only famous people.
Those are the only famous people we had in 1993.
That was it. There were no other famous people. It was a dark time.
It was the darkest timeline.
It really was.
Yeah, but he was the lava monster at one point. He goes back into his house and into the volcano, and he's like, and they're like, and the pilot's like, yeah, well, I figured this out. Figured he was just, we couldn't risk him just checking out the place, so we had to make him seem like it was cold, but he needs heat, so he's gonna go back into this volcano, and he'll never see him again.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to work, and that's how it ends. But I want to say it just I keep looking at this panel, this very last panel.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it look like it's a knife instead of propellers?
Oh, I thought that was a knife. I thought that was like a switchblade.
Because he's sitting in his plane, and he's like, yeah, I'm back to work or whatever. But it looks like the propeller is kind of cut off at a certain point.
Yeah, it looks like a knife.
So it looks like it's just like somebody's holding up like a knife. They're like, ha
like, and then he was stabbed.
Like, what, Ernest Borgnine came back and stabbed him? It's like, what? And that's how this ends. That's it. That is the end of Monster Menace #1 from December 1993. Would you want to read the next issue of Monster Menace?
Oh, sure. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's a monster book. There's reprints. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, a lot of them are very stupid. And they're all short, so it's not,
like
you're not really investing a lot of shit. So.
It's basically like the Journey into Mystery.
Yeah.
Thing
which
we read.
I like.
Which I enjoyed too. But yeah, this is about stupid monsters. And Ernest Borgnine coming out of volcanoes. So, yeah, I'd check it out too. So, that's it for this week's show. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever. Email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com. And
also, please rate and review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is you get the show. We would love to hear from you guys on reviews and stuff, and just let us know what you guys think. That would be really cool. So, thanks again for listening, folks, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.